Hey, it's Coach Nick, and we're talking about the YTWL circuit and how to kind of tweak it to make it a little more functional and a little more effective. So we always develop smarter, more innovative, and more effective ways of training and bring them to you. So the YTWL circuit is a very popular circuit. It's an effective circuit for posterior shoulder, posture, strengthening the commonly weak muscles, rhomboid, lower traps, middle traps. But some of the exercise applications aren't as good as they should be, basically what I'm seeing. So we're gonna tweak them here for you. We're gonna address a lot of topics we're gonna cover with this, so I'm gonna try to talk about one at a time, so hopefully you can better absorb it that way. A lot of times when people are doing the typical YTWL, they do it on a bench, and they'll go through their Ys, their Ts, their Ws, and their Ls. But because most people are commonly restricted in the front, a little tighter in the front and weaker in the back, they don't have as much range of motion, hence they're weaker. So they're always going to try to compensate. That's what the human body does best. So there's nothing to stop me if I wanted to compensate by using my lower back and extending my lower back during any of these movements, such as a Y or a T or a W. You see I'm getting some back extension there. And that's not what we want. And if I'm a coach and I'm coaching 10 athletes at a time, or someone's got baggy clothes on, that's very hard for me to catch, and the client themselves or the athlete doesn't know if that's good or bad. They may think that's part of it. So I wanted to find a way to keep all the good stuff, but take away the bad stuff, and that bad stuff being the back extension. So it's a very simple solution. Instead of using a bench, use a stability ball. All you do is get to the ball. Actually, there's two benefits to this. Well, I'll get to that in a second. And if you notice now, my knees are flexed. By flexing my knees, much like we've talked about in the super dog where you flex your knees, it brings my pelvis more to neutral and slightly posteriorly rotates. So this would be anterior extension, which was happening there. This is posterior. So by bringing my knees in, I prevent myself from extending. And to take one step further, create reciprocal inhibition, I have my folks drive their knees towards the ball. So right now I'm actually actively squeezing into the ball, driving my knee into the wall, to the ball. This activates the hip flexion component, and that creates reciprocal inhibition and inhibits all the extension muscles. So that ensures that all the muscles that shouldn't be on aren't coming on. And then I can go right into my circuit. I can really force it, but I never get that extension. So there's one good thing that's happening. The other good thing, kind of a secondary bonus, is that our thoracic tends to be flexed too much throughout our day. We want to get to extend that. The beauty of being on the ball is I can put the apex of my thoracic curvature over the apex of the ball and make sure that all the extension comes from my thoracic. So now I'm building thoracic extension endurance, which helps my posture, as I'm doing my Y, my T, my W circuit, and I'm eliminating the low back. So one little tweak, two big bonuses.